So, hi guys, welcome to Duolingo Preparation Made Easy Week 2, Day 3, and the trainer is Ms. Shruti. So, these are some of the basic instruction for the participant. Make sure you have a stable internet connection and a noise-free environment. We recommend you to use your earphone for the best experience. Your cameras and microphone are turned off, so in case you have any problem, drop in the chat box and we will be answering them. Participate actively and stay on topic. Respect your instructor, your classmate, and yourself. Be respectful and professional. Now, these are some of the membership offer. So, as you register yourself on the site, you upgraded to bronze member for free. And if you wish to go for silver, you will get 2-week Duolingo classes, comprehensive IELTS GRA, USure Pro University recommendation, and a free 100-hour GRA courses. If you wish for gold, you will get 2-week Duolingo classes, one-on-one Duolingo IELTS, comprehensive IELTS GRA, expert university recommendation, dedicated counselor for entire application process, statement of purpose, letter of recommendation, and visa. Now, these we also provide free profile evaluation with our expert, comprehensive evaluation, university shortlisting, code recommendation, country recommendation, recommendation report, and a doubt clearance. You will get a detailed report with suitable recommendation customized for your profile and requirement. And you can also clarify your doubt regarding the study abroad process. We also provide free GRE live classes Monday to Friday, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and it's a 2-month course. So guys, please enroll yourself. So this is our site, ubergrad.com. You go to your name and then my test preparation. From here, you will land on this page. You go to Duolingo English Comprehensive Live Classes, View Courses. And here you will see Reading and Speaking Week 2, Speaking Day 1, handouts. So these are the handouts for today's session. And for previous day recording, you go to Reading Day 2, scroll down a little. Here, Reading Day 2 recording, 12th September 2023. We also have a Telegram channel. So I will share everything, link about the Telegram channel, handouts link in the chat box, and you can access it from there.
Few questions on interactive reading, and we have also done another topic where you are going to read what is given to you, right? Okay, so today we are starting another new topic completely related to speaking, which is one of the important and toughest questions of Duolingo. You are going to be analyzed on your speaking skills, your fluency, your communication, your verbal capability, your grammar capability, and everything. Okay, let's go. So, the topic of today's session is going to be speak about the photo. Okay, we had a similar kind of question in the writing section, which is about writing about the photo. Okay, and we have discussed about it in the last week. Here you were given 1 minute to write about the image given to you. Okay, we all know that in writing we can't write more under a minute, and that's why the question has been given to us 3 times, and you were given only 1 minute to write each question. Whereas in speak about the photo, they gave us more than what they gave for writing about the image. Look at it. We got 90 seconds to speak about the photo, whereas we only got 1 minute to speak about, to write about the photo. Okay, so why is this important? Which means they're expecting you to talk as much as possible. They are expecting you to speak more, a lot more than what you wrote when you were writing about the photo. Because in this particular uh, question type, you will be evaluated on your prediction score, the ability to speak, the ability to communicate, the ability to express what you think, right? So this is going to help you a lot in your prediction and in your conversation scores. Now, let's look at it. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you guys. I'm here today with a lot of easy ways to increase what you say in a better way. Okay, I have a lot of tips here. I would like you guys to follow along, make a note of these points. You'll also have the recording and you'll also get the handouts. But I want you to follow along with me. Okay, when I try and explain you about a point, I want you guys to use that point and try talking about it. Cool. Now let's go. So here we are going to discuss about the topic and let's learn some points about it. Describe a photo on the screen through speaking. So simple, you have to always think that you are going to explain the photo to a person who is unable to see. This is the easiest way to explain the picture in the best way possible. Okay, now you have to speak minimum for 30 seconds. What does this mean? You're given a total of 90 seconds and you're expected to speak at least 30 seconds. Okay, but if you want to score good, you should at least speak for 60 seconds plus, right? We all want to score good, right? So we have to at least speak for 60 seconds and more, and if you can speak until the 90 seconds, go for it. And here, even before you have, so in this type of questions, especially in the speaking kind of questions, you need to record your answers. Okay, so there'll be a record button which you need to press and record your answers. Okay, so even before you start to record yourself, there will be an image. You'll be getting 20 seconds to think what to say. Okay, only after that the record button will be enabled for you to record. So 20 seconds, make good use of it, because once you start speaking, you can't take a break and then speak, right? Cool. And you can't take any notes. Okay, completely no question. You will be allowed to take notes throughout the examination. There is no need of pen and paper, and if you take it, you will be banned. Okay, now you can see the image as you're speaking. So throughout those 90 seconds, the image is going to be visible to you on screen. So continuously you can observe the picture and continuously you can talk about what you are saying, right? It's not like you've just seen for 5 seconds and then you decided what you'll speak and you don't remember what's in the image. You can continue to watch the image and try finding new observations to tell about, right? Even if you keep looking at a plain wall for a longer period, you'll start finding some dirt or you'll start finding some small cracks or some lines, right? Just like that. Okay, and you will get only one chance to record your answer. You can't re-record. So even if you make a small mistake or if you're stuck somewhere, it's okay, continue speaking. Cool. Don't panic that you'll be losing marks and all. Continue speaking, and you could only record once for the question. And yes, as I told you, you will be evaluated on your conversation ability to tell what you are thinking, ability to communicate, and your production score, which is the ability to produce what is writing and speaking. You're producing it on your own. You're asking your mind to make sentences to express your thoughts, right? So you're producing something, you're creating something. So your conversation and production scores will be evaluated here, right? Now, so on what basis you'll be scored here? Content. What is content? What is the image about, and how well are you describing the image given to you? Simple. Now, you'll also be evaluated on your grammar and vocabulary. So you're not just telling about the image. How well are you telling about the image? How well are you describing about what is present in the image? Or how well are you forming the sentences, the kind of grammar you're using? Like, even if you're making long sentences or even if you're talking for 80 seconds, but still if your grammar isn't good, that's not how it's going to work, right? So here you'll also be evaluated on your grammar, your vocabulary, the variety of vocabulary you use, okay, and how fluent are you talking. Because if you are getting stuck and again you are unable to continue, you're continuously breaking, you're not sure of what you're telling, and everything sounds broken. No, right? We want fluency. There should be a continuation. It should naturally sound like it's a natural conversation, right? Cool. Now the last one is pronunciation. So your pronunciation should be on point. Now let's go. So this is how it's gonna look. Okay, you will be given 90 seconds as I told you. This is the image. After your 20 seconds, your record button will be enabled, and once you click on the record button and start speaking about it, the recording starts. And once you're done with 30 seconds, you will get this button enabled to end the recording. Okay, if you're not doing that, after 90 seconds it will automatically stop. But Just do what you're asked to do. Try speaking for less than 90 seconds and more than 60 seconds to get a good score. And if you're not confident about speaking, speak at least for 50 seconds by using the tips and tactics that I'm going to give today. Cool? Yes, now let's go. So, first step, okay, as I told you, I'll be giving you some tips, right? Let's look at this image, okay? Let's just look at this image, and the tip says don't label. What does labeling mean? Okay, so it's like this is a cup, this is a bottle. I see a bottle. You're not explaining more. Is it a white bottle or is the I see a bottle that is placed on the table. You see, when I say, okay, I bought a cup. Okay, I bought a cup. Are you understanding? Like you can only see a cup in your mind, right? What if I say I bought a yellow cup from IKEA? Look at the image. I bought an yellow cup worth 200 rupees from IKEA. Got it? Or if I have to say, I bought the yellow cup and placed it on the brown table in the kitchen room. Can you visualize it? Can you see the description that I gave? Right? Is it you are understanding what I'm trying to say here? You should clearly be able to visualize what I am telling. It's not like this is cup is yellow. You can't say that. You have to add them. Okay, I bought a cup which is yellow, or the color of the cup I brought is yellow. See how I'm playing with the sentences? Okay, so use complex sentences. Look at this. It is a coffee shop. I see a barista. Barista is a person who handles the coffee, who makes the coffee in the coffee shop. Okay, I see a barista. There are a lot of shelves and there is chair. There is one chair. Do you think this kind of writing is okay? Can you please tell me yes and no? What do you think? Do you think this kind of writing will give you a good score? Say yes or no. No. I see no as the answer. Okay. Now let's see what kind. Yeah, it is simple sentences. All the sentences here are simple. Okay. We want to write complex sentences. Now let's look at the answer. Okay, if I say, okay, if I say this is a photoshop of a stylish and modern coffee shop. Behind the counter there are several shelves that have been hung on the wall with plants, bags of coffee and other items placed on them. An empty wooden chair is facing towards the counter in the left. Can you see? You can visualize, like, you are being able to tell, see, there's a photo of a cafe, okay, of a coffee shop which is stylish and modern behind the counter. So you're telling that there's a counter, and behind the counter there are some shelves, and in front of the counter there's a chair. In between, barista is working. You can literally visualize the whole image, isn't it? You're telling the same things above also. Look at the sentence. How you can talk more? You can talk more just by doing this, by describing more, by expanding more on what you're looking at. Exactly trying to tell about what you're looking at. Okay. Try finding more and more points in the image given to you. Okay. It's simple. Look, the same points I've wrote in the top are the points I've written below. Okay. It says it is a coffee shop. And here I wrote, this is a photo of a stylish and modern coffee shop. So I'm describing what kind of coffee shop it is. Isn't it? I'm adding some adjectives here, right? I see a barista. Okay, here I'm telling I see a barista. What am I telling here? I'm telling where the barista is. See, behind the counter, there are several shelves. They have been hung on the wall with plants, bags of coffee, and other times placed on them, and the barista in the center of it. See, I can also tell where the barista is here, right? And then here I'm telling there are a lot of shelves. And here, look at the way I told how many shelves are there. I told that they're not just shelves and there are a lot of things placed on it, like plants, bags of coffee, and items placed on it. Okay. Here I also wrote there are a lot of shelves and there is one chair. I didn't say anything about the chair, but here I said that it's empty and it's wooden chair and it is also facing towards the counter. Can you see the difference? It just says there is one chair. Here I say it's empty. Nobody's sitting on it. It's a wooden chair. Okay. And it is facing towards the counter, which means it's one-sided table where a coffee A person who what do you say, a customer is gonna face towards the counter and have his coffee. How good of a description is it? Understood? Just don't use simple sentences. Try using complex sentences while you're speaking. Great, good point, right? Now let's try the next tip, which is try using introductory statements. Not try, I would say this is a compulsory rule. When you are going to describe a photo, you are going to tell to a blind person, right? See, I am going to describe a photo. This is how the photo looks. This is, I'm going to tell about a photo which contains your daughter-in-law, right? Simple, like you are going to describe a photo. Now let's look at the example. This is a photograph of a stylish coffee shop with a barista working behind the counter. See, in this single sentence, I am just trying to add one sentence which is telling that this is a photograph of. This is the introductory statements that you need to use. Okay, I'll also give you options of other introductory statements, but you're gonna always start the speak about the photo with this sentence. There's an introductory straight sentence. Okay, so this is a photograph of a classy, super cool uh, coffee shop. The barista is working behind the counter, probably making a coffee for one of her customers. This, it should sound like you're talking, right? It should sound like you're just looking at it and describing, right? Now let's look at some introductory statements so that we can't use the same thing. You, whatever comes into your mind at that moment is what is important. Now these are some of the examples that I've added which you can use. So this is a photo of a great barista, or this is a photo of a boho themed barista, right? You can find your description. I'm trying to add few points there. Okay, this image shows a barista being occupied uh, with the coffee making in a classy cafe, isn't it? You can add points however you like. In this photograph, uh, there are a lot of coffee machines placed on the counter in the cafe. Or the photo depicts an empty cafe with a lot of decor. This is a stunning photograph of a cafe with a beautiful aura with a lot of plants placed on the shelves. You can. This is an introduction point to describe about how much and whatever you can. Okay, this should give the idea of the photo that you are looking at. Now let's try solving this. Okay, let's try using introductory statements on this image. I am not gonna unmute anybody because I want all of you guys to try taking 10 to 20 seconds and try writing it down in the chat box what you see. Okay, how you're gonna start an introductory statement to this picture. Also understand, also try not using simple sentences. Which introductory statement you'll use and what are you gonna write? Come on, try focusing on describing. Don't write simple sentences. Don't write I see a horse. Don't write I see a woman. Don't write I see a road. Right? I see a road, there's a road, horse is on the road. Don't write these sentences. Come on. Try. Last few seconds, guys. I don't want the whole answer. I just want the introductory statement. Okay? We'll go slowly. Come on. Okay. Cool. So I am proceeding with the answer here. This would be an ideal answer, right? This is an image of a young girl riding a horse down a country lane, right? Because here I'm using an introductory statement. Okay, I'm also using a word called young girl because the girl looks young. So I'm not just describing this is an image of a girl sitting on a horse, and or this is a woman, this is an image of a girl riding a horse, right? I'm telling this is an image of a young girl. I'm telling, see, young girl riding a horse down a country lane. It's not just a lane. I'm trying to tell it's a country lane. It's a village kind of lane, right? So you have to see the description also. Now, Let's try writing an introductory statement for this particular one. What do you see? Because there are no people in this. How do you want to write about this? If you practice here, if you write it here, you will be able to write it easily in the examination, because you will be given pictures of any kind. You should be able to speak about it. Come on, take your time and try writing it down. With more practice, you will be able to speak directly. Okay, this looks like so this photograph shows a busy highway road away from the city, right? Something like that. Now let's look at the introductory statement. This is a photo of a highway that leads to a big urban city. See, so here also we are using the introductory phrase. This is a photo of a highway that leads to a big. Here big is again our adjective, right? And we are telling it's an urban city because of the all the buildings there. We can tell that it's a urban city, right? So how you are going to use your words to describe, to show you are good at your vocabulary, that you know many words, that you can use uh different kinds of vocabulary is here that you can show. Okay, you can, so metropolitan city, yes, as long as you are looking, yeah, you can definitely do that. And so metros, you can use it as long as it's an Indian picture, that I would say. And Trupti, so this is a picture of a highway and leads to modern urban city. So urban itself stands for modern. Okay, so modern urban city, you can just say modern city or you can just say urban city. Try understanding your words. Modern urban sounds the same, right? Yes. Come on. Now let's look at the this one. Okay, this is our last introduction statement example. Look at this picture and try telling what could this introduction statement be. Okay, isn't it easy? Because the number of things in the picture are less that you can focus on. Go on. Okay, and five. Guys, you are only going to get 20 seconds to look at the image and speak for 30 plus seconds, right? You can't take much time here. You have to look at it and think about it and write it fast. Only then we can complete another lot of points that I have to discuss. Okay, now let's look at this answer. It says this is a photo of 6 or 7 firefighters getting out of a red helicopter. Look at this. Got our introduction statement. This is the photo of, and we are considering them as firefighters. Okay, and we're also giving a number 6 or 7 from the head count. We're also telling it's a red helicopter, right? Now, cool. Now, what is the tip 3? Uh, The tip 3 is to tell what is where in the photo. So, looking at an image, you should be able to tell if the image is in the front, or is it behind, or is it on the top, or is it on the bottom, or if I am in an image and I'm in the center, you should focus on telling what's on my right, on my left, right? What's on my right top corner, or what's on the left top. If you look at an image with the positioning of what is in the front or what is in the back, you will be able to tell a lot about the photo, right? So these are some phrases that you can always use on the top of, above, okay, at the top, or to the left of the barista, or to the right of the barista, or under the chair, beneath the chair, underneath the chair, below, or if the barista is at the center or in the middle, there's a big coffee machine. You can use these words to describe. You're not just describing, you're telling the positioning of a particular thing in the image. Okay, so it's like if you're not telling the positioning, I can imagine that the barista is here, and what do you say? The coffee machine is anywhere. But if I say that the barista is on the left side of the, sorry, the coffee machine is on the left side of the barista, I'll start imagining it exactly that way, right? So focus on telling exact phrases. Okay, can if I can say the shelves are in the background of the barista, or in the foreground of the barista there's a counter, right? Or directly opposite, exactly in the middle of the photo there's a huge coffee machine, or roughly in the middle there's a counter in the proximity. Okay, just above, parallel to. You can use all this, and if you can use any other words also, try using them, because these are going to give you a lot of content to think about and to speak about. Where is it, how is it placed, all this stuff. Okay, cool. So if I just tell you I brought a cup, or I have a cup, you'll be asking, okay, what color is the cup, where is the cup placed, is somebody holding the cup? So that's how you look at the positioning. Okay, cool. Or if I'm holding the cup with my left hand, okay, so Shruti is holding the red color cup in her left hand. Did you see the detailing from Shruti is holding a yellow color cup in her left hand. Can you see how you can increase the amount of speaking that you can do, or the description that you can give with just telling about the positioning and description of the things that you're looking at? It's very easy if you try it. Now let's use the same example and try doing it here on the same image. Behind the counter, see, we are telling there's a counter. Okay, behind it there are several shelves. So we are trying to separate the picture in 3D form, telling that the shelves are behind the counter. There are several shelves with plants, bags, and other items placed on them. In the front of shelves, they're telling, see, there are shelves, but in the front of shelves, a barista is busy at work. Okay, probably making a cup of coffee. The menu is written on the, see here, on the tall black board, which is to the left of the barista. So as the left barista is standing towards the wall or something, they are mentioning it as the left of the barista. Okay, so the menu is written on the tall blackboard, which is to the left of the barista. Also, on the right side of the photo, there's a large coffee machine. See, look at it. They're telling this is the whole photo. On the right side of the photo, there's a huge coffee machine, right? And next to it, there are other machines that are used to make coffee. Can you see how a small sentence like I can just say there's a counter, there are shelves, there's counter, there are shelves in the background, barista is making coffee, and there are coffee machines on the counter. Done. But using these sentences, you can tell the positioning, the detailing, which will give you a picture visualization to the person whom you are describing. Right? Cool. Now, let's try using this tactic of telling about the positioning looking at this image. What can you see? Okay, everywhere surrounding whatever is happening here. Try writing whatever you observe. This is completely your observational skills and how you can present in your speaking, what you can talk about. You can talk about what's in the background. You can talk about what's in the bottom, right? You can talk about what the people are doing there. What are they wearing? What could be happening, right? Cool. So I'll try telling some points looking at this photo, whereas I can say in the background of the photo, there's a forest. Okay, or the helicopter is placed on the grassy lands, and few people are communicating, while as few people are walking away from the helicopter, right? So let's look at the answer. A few of the firefighters on the right of the helicopter. See how they are telling the helicopter also has a right and left. So on the right of the helicopter, they are chatting casually. On the other side of the helicopter, they are taking out some items from the helicopter. Can you see how detailed they are? They're observing that on the right side of the helicopter, people are talking. On the left side, they are taking some things of the helicopter. They are in an open grassy field, and there's a small forest in the background. So here, how many prepositional phrases did they use? They used the left, on the right, and in the background. Did you see? Cool. Now, what's a tip for? Okay, a tip for is nothing but you should be able to tell who is doing what, which we have done in a previous one also. The people on the left are chatting while the people on the right were taking some things out of the helicopter. So look at this image. We are trying to do the same thing here. This woman in the navy jacket is pointing at the laptop while the lady in red is reading the information on the screen or listening to what this navy jacket female is telling, right? So you can you should try to form a decent sentence from that. Now let's try doing the same thing with this particular photo. The barista is waiting, working behind the counter and waiting for customers to place orders on the counter. Got it? So we are telling what barista is doing. She's waiting behind the counter so that the customers can come and place orders on the counter. We are trying. Suppose if you are given an image where you don't have any people, what would you say? In this case, you can easily use simple sentences. If because there's nothing moving. If you see an image of a cat running, you can tell that the cat is running on the muddy floor, right? You can say that the cat is in the center or in the left or something. You can say about the positioning. But when you're given an image like this where there is no action happening, okay, and there is no particular person or an object that we can talk about you, then you can use your present simple sentences such as the boat is stuck on the beach, okay, or the boat is hit by the waves of the ocean, right? Here you can use the simple sentences, present simple sentences in this case. Now another one that you should be knowing is how to describe, right? That's what I've been telling you. This is see, we told that it's an urban city, so we are trying to tell that this is not just normal city, this is an urban city. Okay, I say that my colleague is really beautiful, so here I'm trying to tell that she's not just my colleague, she's a beautiful colleague, right? The book I read was very interesting, so here it's an interesting book. I'm not telling this is just a book, this is a book, but I'm telling this is an interesting book, right? So let's look at this. So you can, what were we telling about this? This is a photo of a highway that leads to a city, right? This is a photo of a highway that leads to a city. But how can you make it interesting and descriptive? This by telling that this is a photo of a busy highway that leads to a large city. So you're telling the city is huge, you're telling the highway is busy, right? So try using your descriptive language by using adjectives. Okay, now look at this example. Here, if I ask you to write about this particular picture, if I ask you to talk about this picture, you would say this is a photo of a man taking a presentation or giving a presentation. Okay, if I have to describe more, now if you want to talk more, okay, this is a photo of a tall man who is giving an important presentation with the slides in blue color. Okay, or you can say this is a photo of a tall man who is giving an important presentation in a cafe, right? So I'm telling is a tall man, I'm telling this is an important presentation. These are your adjectives here. Okay, cool. Now you can also describe with adverbs. Okay, so how are we describing this? The beautiful horses are galloping through the green field. Okay, but how are they galloping? The beautiful horses are quickly galloping. They're running faster. They're quickly galloping through the green field, right? And also you can say on the left is the black horse, which is ahead of the other horses. Here in a particular single sentence, I'm telling that on the left, which is a prepositional phrase. Okay, there's a black horse. Here I'm trying to describe it. I'm going to add an adjective. It's a black horse, okay, which is ahead. Again, I'm telling the positioning of the horse in that particular sentence, which is ahead of the other horses, right? So here a pictorial presentation, or you should be able to give a visualization, a picture perfect visualization to anybody whom you're explaining a photograph. Now, if you have to describe this particular photo with the adverb, you can say this is a photo of a young girl riding the horse down a country lane. Okay, but if I have to use an adverb, okay, this is a photo of a young girl riding the horse carefully down a country lane. A single word such as an adjective or an adverb will give you additional marks, which will tell us, which which will tell the system your ability to talk more, your ability to use versatile words, your ability to expand your vocabulary. Got it? Now, so there's another thing that you can do is speculate. What is speculate? You are guessing what is happening in the picture. Okay, if I have to guess looking at this, I would say, so I guess, yeah, it is also interpretation. So you try to interpret what is happening in the picture. So I think the firefighters are getting ready to save the nearby forest fire. You can say that. Okay, or I can say the firefighters look hurried because of a nearby fire in accident. Or you can also say that I think the firefighters are getting back into the helicopter after saving uh, people from a fire accident. Right? See, I'm just guessing. Nothing of what I'm telling is visible in the picture, right? But I'm trying to think what could be happening. So here you're trying to speculate, interpret, you're trying to guess and only be comfortable. So this is the fun part here where you're trying to guess what could be happening, or let's look at this picture and try speculating. I can say that uh, looks like this young girl is riding back to her castle. Okay, or I can also say the girl looks to be a member of a British family. Right? So you can speculate. And if you're funny, you will not be given extra marks. If you're not funny, you'll not be given extra marks, but they'll be checking how well can you speculate. Right? No. So if I have to guess, I would say that they're probably getting ready to do practice drills. See, I'm also using this phrase here. If I had to guess, because you're telling that you're going to speculate, right? Even the word so if so I think will also give an idea that you are trying to speculate. Okay, if you say they might be running towards a forest fire, so the might is also telling this. So you have to also use these phrases which will tell that you are speculating. The sentence should be right. You can't say they are running towards forest fire, because we don't know, right? Okay, they might be running towards forest fire, which will tell that you are speculating it. So understand what words to use there so that you can do the right kind of speculation. Okay, so this is an example, guys. Now this is the image I'm presenting to you, and I want you to try writing on it. Okay, so first let's start with the introductory statement. Okay, what can you see in this picture? What is happening here? How do you want to introduce this picture? Let's try using all the things that we have learned till now. Go on. What can you see? Try finding. Use your observational skills here. Observe. A group of friends went for camping at night by having camphor. Okay, good. But where is the introductory statement? This looks like a statement. This looks like you're telling about your friends. Doesn't look like you're looking at an image and telling about the image, right? Or this sentence can also be, yeah. So this is the photograph of a group of friends who went for camping at in the night. Who went for camping in the night by having campfire. Okay. Or you can also say this. Okay, this is a photograph of a group of friends having campfire after their camping. Right? Cool. Okay. Now we got the introduction statement. Let's get into the description phase. What all could you describe about here? What would you describe here from this image? Will you describe the actions of the people? What can you describe? The positions? What all things can you describe? The positioning of the things you can talk about. What's in the background? What's in the foreground? Who is next to who? What do you think they are doing there? How are they looking? What do you think is happening? Try looking at the people's faces. Try looking at what's behind. Try having a 3D view of the image. What is in the front? What is in the back? What is on the top? What is on the left? What is on the right? What is the person on the left doing? What's on the person on the right doing? Is somebody looking sad? What are they doing? Are they looking happy? Or are they looking dull? Are they sitting? Are they standing? Are they looking, or are they sleeping, or are they dreaming, or are they looking exhausted or energetic? Or do you think they're hungry, or do you think they don't have food? See, there's so much to look there, right? The trees in the background, and they think there are tents in the behind them where they can sleep. The tents are green in color. There's 7 people sitting in front of a campfire, right? There's 7 people sitting in front of a campfire. So here we are able to describe. We added a description. There's 7 people in front of a campfire. Okay, and there are the tents used by these people are in the background, right? Yes, they look exhausted. I think they are exhausted from a full day camping full day camping experience, right? Or you can also tell that they all might be sitting down and recollecting their past memories as a group of friends, right? And you can also talk about the person to the extreme left is looking at the other friend who seems to be sleeping, right? And the people on the extreme right are not visible because of the campfire light not falling on them. You can also describe that way, isn't it? So now let's look at it. Okay. So here in this photo, I see a group of friends around 7 to 8 people in total who are sitting around a campfire in a forest at night. Look at the descriptions here. Group of friends, 7 to 8 people in total, are sitting around a campfire in a forest at night. Okay. So I also see some statements such as, in order to refresh their mind, they started chatting with each other. See, this is a speculation. This is a speculation. In order to refresh their mind, they started chatting with each other. So, yeah, but I would like you to add a small sentence such as, I think in order to refresh their mind post exhaustion, because they're exhausted, they're chatting with friends, with each other. Okay, great. Now, what actions? How do we describe the actions here? They're having a relaxing evening. What kind of evening? Relaxing evening by the fire and chatting with each other. Right? Cool. Now, also we are describing the surroundings now. It is dark and the light of the fire is illuminating the group. Look at the way the verbal words are used here. It is dark. Okay. And the light of the light emitted from the fire is illuminating the group. Okay, you can see a couple of tents in the background. Look at the word couple of tents in the background where they're probably going to sleep. So here I'm guessing again that they'll be going to sleep there. Okay, or you can also say they are planning to sleep as it is getting too dark in the night. Now, so let's look at a speculation here. They don't seem to be too cold as some are wearing t-shirts. So I think this photo was probably taken in summer. Look at this. They don't seem to be too cold from the picture as some are wearing t-shirts. So I'm guessing here because they're wearing t-shirts, probably it's not too cold. Okay. So I think this, I'm guessing now that the photo was probably taken in summer. Got it? So this will be the full description of the picture. So if you have to look at this image and you have to talk about it, you'll get the 20 seconds to look at it, where you'll see, okay, there are this many people. Okay, there's a fire in front of them. I can see their faces because the light is falling on them. Looks like there are some tents in the background. Looks like there's a forest that they are living in right now. They look exhausted from a camping. So you collected these points. Now you talk about it. Okay, here in this photo, I see a group of people, friends, around 7 to 8 people in total, who sat around a campfire in a forest at night. They're having a relaxing evening by the fire and chatting with each other. It is dark and the light is illuminating the group. You can see a couple of tents in the background where they're probably going to sleep. They don't seem to be too cold as some are wearing t-shirts, and I think this photo was probably taken in summer. So this, with your natural pace, should at least take you 45 seconds, right? So try and practice. The more you practice, the better you will be doing in this particular question. Try speculating it, try looking at it and describing it, try finding the points that you can describe more and more in this kind of questions. Okay, now I hope you get to practice more, and a lot of questions of this kind in the handouts. Have a look at them, and yeah, if you have any doubts, you can post in the group. And tomorrow we'll be discussing one of the toughest part in the Duolingo examination, which is talking right about the topic, where they'll be giving you a topic and you should be talking about it for almost 3 minutes. So that's like the toughest part. Okay. Any questions, guys? You can few questions on interactive reading, and we have also done another topic where you are going to read what is given to you, right? Okay. So today we are starting another new topic completely related to speaking, which is one of the important and toughest questions of Duolingo. You are going to be analyzed on your speaking skills, your fluency, your communication, your verbal capability, your grammar capability, and everything. Okay, let's go. So the topic of today's session is going to be speak about the photo. Okay, we had a similar kind of question in the writing section, which is about writing about the photo. Okay, and we have discussed about it in the last week. Here you were given 1 minute to write about the image given to you. Okay, we all know that in writing we can't write more under a minute, and that's where the question has been given to us 3 times, and you were given only 1 minute to write each question. Whereas in speak about the photo,